It's 5 to 6. I probably have an hour to get to this gate. I can do it. I think. Just kidding. There's no thing there. There's no travelator. 6:13. Gate opens in 5 minutes. It got to do security. One tip, and this is going to be terrible advice, even for an international flight. If you only have carry-on baggage, you only need like an hour and a half max. 1 hour and a half. That's half of the recommended time. Now, if you get fucked with security, immigration, or anything like that, then you're probably fucked. But how often does that happen? And you're speaking to a man who was asked to leave the UK. Say you have a flight like mine at 7:15 a.m. That means you have to get to the airport. You have to get here at 4:15, which means you have to get here at 4:50. You waste 5-10 minutes getting off the train, or getting dropped off at a taxi, or whatever it is. In my case, getting dropped off by Dixon. When you get to check-in, they take 5 minutes to give you a ticket. That's 15 minutes. Let's say 20 to be conservative, looking for your check-in point. And then you get through security, which usually always takes 15 minutes, and if it goes badly, 30 minutes. Which means it's now 5 a.m., which you have two and a half hours to walk to your gate. Let me say that again. 2.5 hours to get to your gate. Fuck that. See, like, my ticket says 6:45. Where's that ticket? 6:45. There's my gate. It is now 6:44. When did I get to the airport? An hour ago. Best thing about an early flight out is that you get to your home destination at 9:45. Basically got the whole day ahead of me. If you take into account the difference between Sydney time and Auckland time, I'm probably on like my 20th hour, but I wanted to start Sydney off with a story from just before I went to New Zealand. So Mum and I, a couple of days before, Mum and I were waiting at some lights. I was driving, she was in the passenger seat, and then, it was a hot day, so my window was down, and an old man was walking by with a walking stick. A pretty shitty walking stick, to be honest with you. And he said to me two things. Well, he pointed at me and he said two things. And he said, firstly, he said, you are going to be a very nice young lady. And I was like, oh, what? I thought he was talking to Mum. I turned to Mum, and she was just like, and he was like, making eye contact with me. I was like, I'm a boy. And then he ignored that comment, and then he said a second thing. He said, when a bell rings, you both will be rewarded. And then he just sort of continued walking across the lights. And Mum and I just like looked at each other and we were like, what? What does that mean? And we were like, what the fuck? Who says that and who points at somebody and says they're going to be a nice... It was just so fucking weird. I don't even know what to say right now. I didn't know what to say back then. We both didn't know what to... But you know what? I'm getting a little ahead of myself. Let's jump back in time a little. day at work down. Post-holiday blues is acute today. Acute is the key word. And why I'm talking about this, what I was just talking about, was because I'm not really feeling that productive. Like, I've come back, I made a promise to myself I'd make the vlog better, and I fucking didn't do anything for 2 days. So I'm gonna do a backpack tour. Because it's fucking, like, I think it's worth doing. To start, I always carry around my my Joby Gorilla Pod with the Manfrotto smartphone holder, which can actually be a tripod on its own, really. But you can always, like, it can always stand up like this. Like, it stands up like that. See, it stands up on its own. Oh my god. An extra smartphone camera that's good, it's waterproof, it's dustproof. It's a Sony Xperia Z1, and somehow it's really good at low light photos. Excellent. We are in business. I can turn this up. Yeah. Alright. For a long time, for most of my life, buying shitty backpacks that I had to replace every couple of years. Thought I'm gonna spend like $50 on a good backpack. I bought this back in like mid 2015. That's a good 3 years of harsh use. It got used every day, and that includes cramming stuff in there for my Europe trips, my gallivanting around Europe, Latvia, Amsterdam. I lived out of this bag. It's the right size. It's durable. It has like this seatbelt-like material holding it together. I use these pockets like a maniac. It's only now starting to tear just a little bit, but it's still so solid. The best thing about using this bag as a travel bag is it's got a security pocket in the back with a zipper, which means that nobody can fucking get to it. Nobody can pickpocket you because it lays flush with your back, your lower back. You can keep your ridiculous amounts of cash, foreign currency in there, and local currency. Your ticket confirmation itineraries in there. More currency, your passport, your plane ticket. All the important shit that if you lose them, the trip is over. Now, the reason I got this piece of leather here is because this is what started to show wear about the end of last year, so I had to get it fixed. I've got a dude in my area. He's the best, and he's just stitched a bit of here. What's next? Let's go with my headphones. They're Audio Technicas, but I don't know what model. You know, I just like to get a nice even sound. I don't want too much bass, I don't want too much treble. It's great. What's in my bag right now? Sushi and a V. The first thing I always take with me is this thing. So this is just a piece of cardboard that I cut out, and then I wrapped a bit of elastic. 2 thumb drives, one that can work on any computer, one that can take over 4 gigs files. Anybody who's a techie will understand what the hell I mean. I've got an OTG adapter for micro USB, a smaller OTG adapter for USB-C, double 3.5 headphone jack for when I want to listen to music with friends. I love to do that on planes or trains or buses. And then on the other side is where I keep like larger cables, usually just a micro USB cable to charge my phone, with a USB-C adapter for all my USB-C shit. All my stuff that's living in the future. This bottle I take everywhere. It's a Brita filter bottle. Sometimes it leaks, but it's actually pretty solid. It's squeezy, which means you can just squirt it. Has a protector, which means I can keep it on the side of my bag and it's not touching people's asses. This has gone everywhere with me. It's not the same one. I've lost many of these. I had the same one all the way through Europe until I lost it in Scotland. But they're great and they're not too expensive. They're BPA free. They're awesome. These are all the videos, real quick, that it's been in. My main device, a Moto Z Play Generation 1 phone. And the reason I use this phone is because it has excellent battery life. It's not the fastest phone, it's not the thinnest phone, it's not the lightest phone, it's also not the prettiest phone, but it does have the best battery life and it's got an okay camera. It takes
pretty good video. You could be the judge of that because all my vlogs are on this.
Hopefully that was, you know, entertaining, worth filling up the vlog with. All this stuff is going to have links. I might even put a link to this tripod. This is $10. I'm going to end this right here. I don't know if the vlog is ending, but if this is it.